thing to do when I'm bored? Well, one of my favorite things to do is spend time with my friends and my family, because I feel like I don't get to do that often when I work so much. So that's one of the big things that I try to do when I have time. I like to see live music, so I like to go to concerts. I like to see plays, so sometimes I get tickets to go see plays. And especially when I'm in New York, I like going for walks. It's a cool city to just kind of walk around and discover new things. So sometimes I just go for long walks. What do you like to do when you're bored?
I don't know.
You don't know? You like make drawings or
Sometimes.
yeah, play with friends?
I like it, because I don't really have a lot.
Not yet. How old are you?
I forgot.
5, 4, maybe 5?
Yes.
It wasn't really a yes or no question. Are you 5? Yeah. No. Oh, you're not sure. Okay. Don't worry, you're gonna have lots of friends. Thanks for asking me a nice question.
Hi, big fan. I think you're talented and beautiful. My question is, what was the most challenging thing for you to learn when going on the show? Anything you didn't know how to do?
Working out how to make magic real, seem real. There is like a real thing to that, you know. We all sort of, well, all of us that have had magical powers at any point on the show have all kind of had our moments of trying to figure out the best way to have that be effective. And it might be something that sounds funny, but it's like you want it to be specific and you want it to make sense and you want people to look at it and go like, yeah, of course she has magic. And that doesn't just happen. You have to kind of find a way to make that seem real. So that was definitely an interesting and unexpected challenge that came along with playing Emma Swan.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Giselle, and I'm just wondering, what's your favorite physical feature of the hook?
What's your favorite physical feature?
Eyes and breasts.
His eyes? His eyes are great. I think that's a great answer. I'm going to take that one.
How do you think your character changed from the start, like season 1 to season 6?
I think Emma changed quite a bit, in a good way. I mean, I think she was still herself, obviously, but I think that she grew tremendously from the pilot to season 6. You know, when we meet her in the pilot, she's been through so much. She was raised in the foster system, and it didn't go very well for her. She's been hurt and betrayed by pretty much everyone she's ever been close to at that point in her life. She has major abandonment issues. She's had to survive in a way that's forced her to do things that went against her natural moral code and ethics. And she's just someone who's had to be really, really tough. And I don't think that she was, I don't think that was natural for her. I think that was like a learned thing that she had to put on to be able to survive. And that made it very difficult for her to feel vulnerable enough to be close to new friends and eventually who she discovered to be her family, and then eventually to actually fall in love with Hook, you know. So it was a long journey for her to trust people again and let her walls down and sort of find you know, a more delicate side of herself that was once there, but she kind of had to cover up in order to survive. So I think that by the end, she's still the strong person that she learned to be, but she also has the guts to be vulnerable as well, which I think was something that took a lot of work for her.
Thank you. Hi. If you're able to pick a magic power for Hook, what would it be?
To read Emma's mind? I think a good magical power for any of us would be to be able to heal people. I think that, you know, having the ability to physically heal someone, whether it's a wound or an illness, would be an incredible superpower to have.
Thank you.
Hi. So season 3 is my favorite because obviously for this dress, but also because your character from onward, from 3 to 6, you finally got to wear more dresses. So I want to know, what is your favorite dresses, both fairy tale and non-fairy tale?
Wow, all the fairy tale dresses are pretty great. I mean, Eduardo is just such a genius. He's the loveliest man. He's so talented and so kind. I really think he's like a character in the show in the sense that it's miraculous what he pulls off on a week-to-week basis. And when you think about the big balls and all that stuff, I mean, this design, all of those things, and have it all work together. Oh God, I mean, I love a lot of the dresses. I'm trying to think. I think maybe the white, where was I when I wore the white lacy Camelot? Not the one that I ran around the forest in, but yes, that one. All right, it takes me a while to work these things out in my head. Yeah, I think that would probably be my favorite. I thought that was beautiful.
And non-fairy tale, like when you're either in Storybook or you're in New York.
I'm trying to think. I had the pink date dress. I had the dress in the pilot. Oh, right, and the little leather dress in New York. Maybe that one. I like that one. That black leather one, yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi. What is the funniest Captain Swan memory you remember from filming?
Goodness, I don't know. We crack each other up a lot, for sure. I think we definitely had a good time with when he was Old Hook. He just really enjoyed being Old Hook in a way that just cracked me up. So we did really struggle to get to those scenes in a way that was at all usable. It was also an interesting journey when he had to try to climb the beanstalk with one hand on a hook. I don't think they really thought through that. It would be one thing, I guess, if he really had a hook that was secured in a way where he could latch on, but because he's actually holding that hook inside, he can't really use it the way he should be able to use it. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can put weight. It's not a weight-bearing limb. I don't know how else to put it. And so it was very tricky because it was basically like trying to climb a beanstalk with one arm.
I have another question. What was your favorite scene to film with Henry?
Oh, I just answered that, I think. Maybe you weren't here yet. It was the scene at the end of season 1 when Henry's eaten the apple turnover to try to prove to Emma. I was just saying it's like such an emotional and sort of sweet, touching scene that he would have gone to such lengths and had such faith to prove to Emma that this was what was going on. And the moment when she goes to the hospital and kisses him on the forehead and True Love's kiss wakes him from it. It was a really pivotal turning point in the storytelling of the show, but also was just a very sweet scene.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I was wondering if you prefer tacos or pancakes.
Well, since my parents eat tacos and Emma and Hook eat pancakes, I'm gonna go with pancakes.
Hi, I was wondering, what was your favorite memory on the set with Paul?
Oh my goodness! I mean, there's just so many. It'd be impossible to choose any one moment. I really enjoyed the musical episode. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I enjoyed it even more than I expected to. I loved the music. I loved the energy that we all had surrounding the excitement of doing something different. I loved having the songs incorporated in the scenes. I felt like the show really lent itself to having that kind of music involved in a very natural way. And it was just really fun. It was fun to go to work and learn the dance numbers, and it was fun to incorporate the music, and it was fun to see the show come to life in that way.
Hi. You were once asked this at Comic-Con. Could you do an Irish accent? At least try.
I'm like
the worst at this. When I had to do accents, I learned them, and I learned them phonetically, and I spend hundreds of hours working with a coach until I get to a place where it's totally natural for me. But until then, I'm hopeless. I'm completely hopeless.
Hi. So I did a very long journey to come here. I'm from Israel, actually. And my question is, if you had to go to vacation, first as Emma with Henry in the book, and second by yourself, where would you go?
Where would Emma go on vacation? I feel like Emma and Hook and Henry need to go somewhere luxurious because they've spent so many years having to battle all sorts of crazy creatures and go through all sorts of crazy battles and things. So I think that for them, they need to go to somewhere, go to like a resort in Hawaii or something. You know what I mean? Just like somewhere where it's like an all-inclusive resort. What?
Said that.
Did he really? There you go. And for me, this is, it's an interesting question because I'm trying to figure that out right now. Obviously I'm tied up with this project that I'm starting to direct for the next couple of months, but after that I'm trying to figure out where I want to travel. And there's so many places that I would love to see. I have several times tried to go to Ireland and had my trip thwarted by work that got in the way. So I feel like I really do want to push through and prioritize seeing Ireland and Scotland. So those will probably be the first two places that I try to see. And then, the list goes on and on. I kind of want to see everything.
You can come to Israel.
I would love to go to Israel. I think there's so much, there's just unbelievable depth of history there. It sounds like it's incredible.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming so far.
Hi, my question. Once Upon a Time is known for all the crazy love triangles and family tree. I just always get confused and stuff, and it's crazy to think about. I was wondering how you felt about the scene with you and Neil. But it was short, and you guys reference how crazy everything is.
Yes. Well, that feels like a long time ago. And we were also filming in this really dense atmospheric smoke that I'm fairly certain is toxic. So I feel like my memories of those scenes are a little bit hazy. It was interesting because I thought it was a nice moment to be able to have two women together in that situation be at peace with each other over something and know that they both played different roles in each other's lives. I mean, in Hook's life, not in each other's lives. And I think I'm glad that it wasn't like a cat fight or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would have been very disappointed if that's what the writing was, but I thought that it was, if I'm remembering the scene right, and you guys can correct me because you probably know it better than I do. But if I'm remembering correctly, they were fairly at peace with each other in terms of understanding they were serving different things in Hook's life at different times. And I think that is a very powerful message to put in storytelling, is that, instead of women fighting each other for someone, really understanding where they both contributed to someone's life.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I think you're a wonderful actor and really pretty. My name is Sophie, and I've always dreamed of doing this, but anyways, we had a question that if you were going to be in a live-action movie of Disney's animations, what would he and who would you play?
I mean, a couple years ago I would have said Beauty and the Beast and wanted to play Belle because I loved reading so much and she was always one of my favorites. But they just did that, so that's not going to happen. Well, I don't know. Growing up, I remember loving, what's her name? Little Mermaid. And I remember then loving Beauty and the Beast not long after that, and loving Aladdin, Jasmine and Aladdin. I really loved all of those stories. If Disney came to me and wanted me the live action version of anything they did, I would say yes. I think that, you know, those stories were really formative in my growing up, and I enjoyed them all, and it would be fun to be a part of them in any way, shape, or form. Which one do you guys like the most?
I like Belle too.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
So did I.
Yeah, I like that she's smart.
Thank you for spending your time answering.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So mine's kind of a two-part question. So what was it like working with Jared and watching him grow up? And was it really that hard to blow out the candle at the bloopers?
I never once got the candle out. I have no idea what was going on. I don't understand. And to be fair, a couple people tried as well from the same angle I was at, and they struggled as well. So there was something about like the aerodynamic shape of that star candle that was making it very difficult. I don't know. I had way more trouble than you could even tell from the blooper reel. I thought that they would put more takes than that in the blooper reel to prove how much trouble I had with it. It was embarrassing. What was the other question?
What was it like watching Jared grow up?
Oh, right, yeah. That was so cool. I mean, what an unusual experience to be able to get to know someone at that phase of their life, you know, and meet someone as a child and watch them turn into a young adult. And he's such a lovely, lovely guy. He is so warm-hearted, so kind, so considerate, very smart. And it was just amazing because, you know, we started the pilot. I could kneel down on my knees and be eye to eye with him practically. And by the end, he's, I think, taller than me now. So to watch that physical growth spurt as much as his emotional and intellectual growth spurt in that stretch of time, it's really cool. It makes you feel sort of like an actual surrogate parent in a way, you know, to spend that many hours around someone and hear about him liking a girl, or hear about a project he's trying to write, or hear about his tests and what he's working on in school. And you know, he really feels like a family member in that way. And I, you know, I just wish him the best. I mean, it's kind of like I left at the same time he was going off to finish high school and start thinking about college. So it's just interesting. I'll be amazed and interested to see where he ends up journeying in life.
Thank you so much.
Hi Jen, I'm Cardelan. I was wondering, Glee was a life-changing show, and you're one of the persons who funded and brought our lives. And I was wondering if there's any project like that, and what was your thoughts about it?
What show did I feel connected to?
No, Glee.
Oh, Glee.
Yeah, is there any other show that you wanna get involved or produce?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I just was having trouble hearing. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it will be yet. There's a couple things that I have in development through my production company, and there's a couple things I have my eye on, and I'm always kind of on alert for things that I feel like would make good content for television or for film. So I'm kind of always on the hunt, and things like that just take time. You know, it's one of those things where people are even asking about Sundogs. It's like, you know, the film premiered at LA Film Festival. We're in the process of selling it right now, but even if I sold it tomorrow, it's still going to be a year before it comes out. It's a long journey with putting things like that in the world. So, but I do have, there's a couple things right now that are technically in development that I really feel passionately about. So, you know, hopefully in the next couple of years, there'll be something that I'm able to put on television.
Thank you, and sending love from Turkey.
Sorry?
Sending love from Turkey.
Oh, thank you. Sending love back to Turkey.
Hi, who is your bird scene for season 6?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
Favorite scene for season 6?
What is my favorite scene from season 6? God, they all blend together. I have so much trouble figuring out what happened in what season. Probably, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the entire musical episode, and so it'd be hard to pick a scene out of that, but I liked the scene where with Emma's song, where she sort of really comes to terms with who she is and what's been inside her this whole time. I think that that was a really powerful way to have her story culminate. And then it was also really fun to do the wedding scene. It was fun to have the dance of the song and have everybody there together. And, you know, both of those scenes were really, really fun to shoot.
Hi. Regardless of a romantic partner, who do you think, like, what do you think would be your happy ending?
Who's happy ending? Emma's?
Yes, Emma's.
I mean, you've seen her happy ending. it is, and I agree with it. I think that, you know, her happy ending is, yes, part of that is that she is with Hook, but that what makes that a happy ending for her is that she has grown to a place where she's capable of being strong and in love. And I think that that is what makes that really special for her, is that after everything she's been through and after all the journeys that she's been through and all of the obstacles that she's faced, that she's surrounded by her family and her friends and someone who loves her for who she truly is, and she loves him for who he truly is. And I think that, you know, it's nice that she's being portrayed as being in a relationship where they know the good and the bad of each other. It's not like, oh, we just are happy-go-lucky and everything's great. It's like they're very aware of each other's flaws and very aware of the times that they've failed, and that they accept the broken parts of each other just as much as they accept the healthy parts of each other. And so I think for her, she feels like for the first time in her life, she's in a safe place. You know, she's with someone that is truly by her side and she's truly by their side. And I think that's ultimately the best happy ending I can imagine for her after everything she's been through. I mean, she started her life completely abandoned and eventually sort of abused in certain ways, and so to come to a place where she's healing from all of that and she's loved and supported by her family and by her now husband, I think it's great.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is, if you weren't acting, what would you be doing?
Well, you mean what if I weren't doing anything that I am already doing? Is it something else that I would be doing, or because I don't know. I would be directing, but I am directing. But I also think I would enjoy being an interior designer. I definitely enjoy making like homey spaces every time I have to move or go somewhere, every time I'm in a new trailer. And the rugs come in and the plants come in and, you know, all the paintings go on the wall, and I definitely enjoy the process of putting a home together. So I think there's a part of me that would enjoy that.
Thank you. Hi. I saw the end of Longing last time, and you were amazing as always. So I just came here to see you and Colin together. But that brings me to my question. Would you be open to doing a stage play with Colin? And what will be your ideal plot?
Okay. Yes, of course. I mean, Colin and I work great together. I'd be happy to work with him again anytime. And you know, I think we both feel that way. It's really nice when you find other actors that you have such ease with, and you can definitely push yourself further when you know you have that trust with another actor. So I would love to be on stage with Colin. I have no idea what the ideal story would be. I mean, you just never know what's out there with plays. I've been actually meeting with playwrights lately just to sort of get a sense of some of the new plays that are out there and build relationships with people who are writing new content just so that they can kind of keep me in mind and I can keep them in mind and maybe we can find something cool to work on.
Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering how long it takes to do all your makeup and put your costume on, and what's your favorite ship in Once Upon a Time aside from Captain Swan?
I try to keep my hair and makeup down to the bare minimum if I can. I like to try to get in and out as much as possible. It depends on the character, you know, obviously certain characters require so much more maintenance than others. But with Once Upon a Time, really what took the time was my hair, because there was a whole lot of that hair. So that would take a long time to to dry and do all that, but I would read during that time. So it was usually about 45-ish minutes to do that, and I would just read while they did that, and then it's probably about like 15-ish minutes for my makeup. So it's pretty quick once they get it down. I mean, it's one of those things where when you first start out, it takes a little bit longer, and then as someone gets to know you and they get used to the pattern and the habit of exactly how it is, it kind of like gets less and less in time that it requires to get ready. Thank you.
Hi, I was wondering if you have any interesting like audition stories.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I feel like. Oh, got it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe I've just blocked it out of my mind or something. I mean, I've been lucky because I haven't had to do a lot of auditioning as of late. And I haven't been in audition rooms since really before. I think probably okay, here's a good story. Sorry, it took me a second. I got there. Found it. Okay, for How I Met Your Mother, I had to read for that. Because I had done comedy on stage, and I had done a couple of smaller films that were comedies, but in people's minds, I was this dramatic actor from House, and so of course I couldn't do anything but be Dr. Cameron, because, I don't know, people just assume you can't do anything but the one thing they know that you've done. And so I had to really fight that role and prove that I could do it. And I had made a tape originally, and one of the scenes where she was throwing eggs. And so I got an egg cart, and I put ping pong balls in as the eggs, so that I could actually like throw something in the scene to actually make the scene kind of funny. And so I had gotten their attention from that, but they still wanted to meet with me in person. And so it was a scene with one of the scenes she's screaming with a megaphone, another scene she's throwing eggs. It might have been the same scene, I don't know. There's a megaphone, there's eggs. And so I flew into LA to go meet with them, and I got home and I realized that I had left my car before I traveled at my boyfriend at the time's house. And so I didn't have a car, and my construction, what do you call it? Like the guy overseeing the construction, foreman or whatever, contractor. He had this giant like orange 4x4 like vehicle that looked like something out of, I don't know, some kind of big action film or something. And I was like, I'm so sorry, sir, can you take me to this audition? I don't have a car. And so he did. So he drives me. There's like no top, no windows. It was like wind blown. I've got my megaphone and my egg crate of ping pong balls in this giant orange vehicle. And I pull up to where they were shooting that day on How I Met Your Mother, and I jump out of the giant vehicle, which I literally had to climb down from. And then they tell me that they don't have a space to read me in, so they're just going to go into like the producer's trailer. So I'm now in a trailer that is like, oh shit, I'm just going on and on now. So I'm now in a trailer that's like the size of these two squares. So like from here to here, and there's like 4 producers on the couch. There's a door right here. I've got my microphone and my fake eggs, and I was like, I just gotta go for it. Like, I still gotta do it. Like, I can't not be funny even though we're in this tiny, awkward space. So I'm like shouting on the megaphone, throwing ping pong balls everywhere. Like, okay, you got it. Yeah, I think I just forced them to surrender and then came in. So there you go. There's a good audition story for you.
You were so cute back there telling that story, telling about the contractor and all those big words and everything. So cute. You just crushed it, didn't she? Isn't that J-Mo awesome? Thank you, Jennifer. Great to see you.